Hello again, everybody, and welcome to sample question number 4 for the RNIP. So previously, we saw 3 questions on the community requirements of the RNIP, and in this video, we are going to take a look at the PR requirements for the individual who wishes to obtain PR. All right, here is your question. So you've got 1 minute to solve this. All right, everybody. So if you had time to work through this in 1 minute, congratulations. That's the goal. That's what we want to do in the real exam, of course. If you went through the lesson on this, you might have gotten the answer right away. If you went through the lesson and you didn't get this answer right away, that's fine too. You can pause the video and try to get the answer yourself. Okay, so I'll just read this to you, just in case you are driving or in the bus or something like that, and then we will work through solving this one together. Okay, so we have Irene. Now, Irene was thrilled when her RCIC told her about the RNIP, because this meant that she can get to experience Canadian life in a smaller town for her first few years in Canada. After doing her research, she found a job posting in her field of expertise in Vernon, one of the towns that is designated to select immigrants through the RNIP, and was thrilled to receive a job offer. The next step for her RCIC is to get all of her documents organized to prove that she meets all of the federal, community, and RNIP requirements, while Irene looks for housing and school for her kids. The RCIC and Irene meet again 1 month later, and Irene updates the RCIC that she has found a fantastic house next to a school in Penticton, just outside of her job in Vernon, and will commute 1 hour each way to and from her job. She discussed this plan with her employer. There was no issue. The employer will even allow her to work from home once a week. The RCIC updates her that her documents clearly prove she meets the requirements of the RNIP, and upon her signature and payment of the remaining portion of the retainer, it will be sent for processing. What is the likely outcome of this application? A, it doesn't appear that Irene has Canadian work experience, so her application will not proceed. B, Irene cannot immigrate through this program with her children. C, Irene cannot plan on living outside of the town where her job is located. And D, Irene meets all of the requirements of this program and will likely obtain PR. Okay, so with B, we can eliminate this. You can rely on your general knowledge to eliminate B. Now remember, we're going to have to do this really quickly in the exam. But there aren't any PR programs where a person is forbidden from bringing their dependent children with them, right? So with this one, we can just eliminate B right away. If you want to dig in a little bit deeper into dependent children, check out our lesson series on dependent children. It's a very, very, very important topic for your exam. All right, so now that B is eliminated, we can move on to explore other options. Okay, so we'll work through A in this one here, and it deals with the experience component of the RNIP as one of the requirements for a person to immigrate. So this is the question really, is there a mandatory Canadian experience in this program? So similar to the CEC. And the answer is no, there isn't. The experience can be overseas, It can be done in Canada as well, of course, as long as it's legal. But with her, there's no indication that she has Canadian experience, but it doesn't really matter in the context of this question. So with that thought process, we can easily eliminate A. Okay, so now we're left with two options, and we can see that they are pretty opposite of each other. So it's great to work through this kind of mindset where if it's not one, it's going to be the other. And we are going to choose between C and D. Okay, so in choosing between C and D, we have to answer a certain question. That question is, does she meet the requirements? And if not, why doesn't she? Right? So with this, there's a lot of vagueness in this question, in this scenario. They don't tell us very specifically about her language, education, what the job offer is, if her experience matches with that job offer, etc., etc., etc. And it's just like in the exam. I mean, that's one of the strategies we talk about during the seminar is the fact that, of course, they're not going to give you every little piece of information in there. So we have to strategize to be able to answer the questions as fast as we can, even though there's a lot of areas that just aren't really clear for us. Now, I'll tell you where the answer is, and the answer is over here. Intent to live in the community. So we have a lot of vague areas where they kind of briefly mention that her documents prove she meets the requirements of the RNIP. However, even with this, we can see that in the time between the first meeting with the RCIC, when the RCIC is getting all the documents ready, and the second time when she comes back and she says that she found a house in Penticton and she's going to commute 1 hour each way to and from her job. So that one there shows us that she does not intend to live in the community. And with this, we have C as our answer. So if you got the answer correct right away, good for you. Congratulations. That took you 1 minute, hopefully at the beginning. If it didn't take you 1 minute, if it took you longer, or maybe you even got the wrong answer, well, that's fine. I mean, that's what the training is for. Okay, so in the end, a big thank you for tuning in. These questions are, of course, really, really important in making sure that you can implement your immigration knowledge into an exam context. So really make sure you work through all of these questions, all the simulation questions, and of course, see why your answer is correct or incorrect.